Hi all, good morning. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, your friend Ajit.k.kg. Welcome to Passionate Talks. On this day, we have a very special guest, Mr. Prem Prakash Garg. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Ajit, and good morning, everybody here.
Yeah, very good morning, sir. So Prem happens to be my friend, my neighbor, and I have known him for a couple of 4 to 5 years,
Yeah,
and so it brings me a great opportunity to talk to him and ask him about his passion, uh, his passion towards birds and nature conservation. Sir, over to you. The first question I would like to talk to you is all about nature. What is nature according to you?
Ajit, nature is everything. Nature is mother. We consider in our religiously also. So, nature is everything, is what I say. And Mother Nature will nurture us and protect us. At the same time, it will punish us if we do not protect nature. You know, it's a give and take relationship with the nature. That's what I.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So, nature is among us. We must just think that nature is within us or part of our lives. Only then, we can actually define nature. A lot of people tend to ignore that nature is something used only for photography or videography, right? But it's not that. Yeah.
It's not.
So that culture has to change. In the older generation, people used to worship nature, but now the trend is changing. It is just about vacation, tours, and travels,
Yeah,
photography and videography. That culture has to change. Yeah.
true.
So, what made you to start birding? I know that you're into birding and you do bird
Yeah.
photography and bird surveys. So, what made you to start that?
It all started, it all started with photography first. My
Okay.
brother had bought a DSLR camera. He was passionate about photography. And I started using it whenever he was not using it. And then slowly started clicking things around. That is where it took me to observing things around me, right? Uh, Initially started on a travel trip to Kashmir, and then I fell in love. Uh, and then in this process you get to meet other people who are into other different types of photography. Then started learning about birds, raptors, and then wildlife, and slowly, everything anything in nature started clicking, and realizing, understanding about smallest of the creatures to the biggest of the mammals and things like that. And then fell in love with birding. Since so, birds are one subject, there's so many species, you will never run out of it. They're so colorful, their behaviors are different. They teach you a lot of things. They are simply amazing. So I fell in love with this hobby of observing birds, and I continue to do that. It gives me a lot of learning, immense learning. Every day, every session I go out for birding, I learn something new. So that is one thing, it keeps me going, loving birding.
Wow. So, it's all started with a hobby and then that turned into a passion.
Passion. Absolutely.
Okay, great. So, do you remember your initial hobby days? The number of birds you have captured in the photographs?
Yeah, if I sit and just try and realize what I knew when I started birding, I
Yeah,
hardly knew handful of birds like crow,
great.
sparrow, maybe parakeets. Those days we used to call them parrots because we
That's
didn't know what is parakeet and a parrot. Yeah. So very hardly, very few species. But when I started going out in birding, I started learning there were so many species around us which we always ignore. We do not pay attention to it, and they're always busy doing something or the other. you know, so started learning more and more about new birds and exploring places where I would expect these birds. that took me to different places, explore nature more, you know. So absolutely, the journey has been excellent that way.
Fantastic. So that also brings you to bird surveys, right? So the number of places you go, you get an estimate of what bird can I expect in that region. So
Yes,
you come to know about the survey of these birds as well.
yes.
So you have been doing that as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. See, by when I say birding, it's a hobby of observing birds where we try and see, identify different species of birds. We also make an estimate of number of each species that we see, what is their behavior, what kind of habitat they are in, uh, if they are around the nesting period or breeding season, things like that. There are a lot of citizen science programs where you can upload your observations, and
Okay.
this data is used in a scientific manner to understand about environment and the habitat around the globe. You know, the simple measure that we take by adding these observations is helping somebody somewhere in the remote corner of the world to understand, analyze, and take steps to, in a better way of improving environment and nature. So, and you also get to meet a lot of other people who are into birding, nature, and things like that. You're also increasing your social circle,
Yeah, absolutely.
and
So
you have a
this,
reason to wait for a weekend.
yeah,
You have a reason to wait for a holiday, and you know there's a lot of exploration goes on. Not if you understand, not every bird is seen at one place. Different birds at different places. There are birds that follow specific type of habitat, you know. So you go in search of different types of habitats to try and get new birds into your list. So it's a long journey. It's a very interesting and fascinating journey that we take up as a hobby.
that's very interesting. Sounds very, magical, right?
Yeah,
You search and explore nature and you find birds.
yeah,
Most of the times you find you can spot birds and the and the colony of birds right through your window, right? When you open the
yeah, yeah,
window, you get to see.
definitely.
Yeah, so this used to be a trend 20, 25 years ago in Bangalore, when you used to be sparrows and other birds.
Sparrows
But
also.
nowadays, due to the depletion of trees and plants, I think it has become a concrete jungle. So the number of birds you can spot in the city has come
Yeah,
down.
yes.
So do you have anything to say about that? Or what kind of birds you can expect right now in Bangalore at this state of mind?
See, definitely, we have lost a lot of sparrows. That that's because of development that we are. I'm not against development, but mindless. Without a thought, we are just running behind development. Without understanding the factors that are affecting other parts of the nature, because we are not the only one living on this planet, right? A simple change with without a thought, it may not affect us directly, but it will affect through other species, other things around us, and it's a boomerang. End of the day, it will come and hit us. So definitely, there are a lot of things that are happening. I mean, earlier we knew that Bangalore was known as green city of now.
Yeah.
Now, if someone has to go back and assess that statement, we will only see concrete all around us.
Yes.
Are we still recording,
Very
Ajit?
much. Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay, okay. There was some reconnection error. So,
Yes.
so what I
Okay.
was saying is, we have turned the green city into concrete city. We have zero
Right.
consideration for any tree, any branch, any plant around us, right? because everything is
Right.
a circle, right? I mean, if I'm just thinking of cutting a tree, I may say that okay, this is just one tree I'm cutting. There are so many other trees in the surrounding. How will it affect? So if a similar thought is there in everybody's mind and 100 people think of same way, 100 trees are gone,
God.
and none of us we plant a tree. Even if we plant it, we do not take care of it. We do not make sure the tree grows, that plant grows into a tree, and replenishes the damage that we have done. So it's a circle.
Right.
So people need to get serious about it. And whatever things that we are doing, it definitely has a consequences. Try and understand that consequence and take that step if you think it is right for the future.
Right, Prem. One of the major consequences is already occurring right now. Water shortage across
Yes,
Bangalore.
yes, people
Right.
now
So,
definitely, right? And uh, people are now coming to a realization that what we are doing. If
yeah,
you look at the city now, if you travel in the busy city areas, everything is either covered by roads or concrete. Even if it rains, there is no place that the water gets absorbed into the ground, isn't it?
right.
So, and all the lakes now, most of the lakes have disappeared. Remaining lakes have become just soup bowls, which do not serve the real purpose of a lake. And rest of the lakes have been turned into jogging parks. It is human-centric development, what is happening right now, without understanding the consequences. So, I mean, it all comes with, awareness. People not spending that time to get aware about our surroundings, the tasks, the actions that we are doing. We are just blindly running, rushing, and chasing the development.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you can also spot a lot of the lakes being filled with debris,
Debris, gutter water.
debris, gutter water, waste materials,
So many lakes have been developed as jogging park, but tell me
swimming
how many
parks.
of them can go comfortably run around? They cannot
Hmm.
breathe because the entire lake is filled with gutter water. There's no
Contaminated.
fresh water remaining,
Hmm.
right? So there is a lot
Right.
of science behind it. We need to follow that, not just create a walk path, make a lake deep bowl, right? Leave it to the nature. Nature knows how to cure, how to maintain things. It's self-sustainable, right?
It
We
can
as a human
replenish
need not
itself.
interfere in the matters of nature.
Yeah.
That is one thing.
Hmm. Humans think that they can conquer nature. That
Yes.
is,
So creating a deep lake, filling it water is not the only thing. Today you will fill the water. Will that water remain fresh? Will that water allow fishes to grow? Will the fishes survive? Will other organisms will survive in that water? No. Will birds
no at
come to
all.
lakes to the water? Not many.
Mhm.
Not many.
Right. With fresh water, you are actually creating a habitat for fishes.
Absolutely.
With
Absolutely.
fishes comes snakes and other animals who depend on
It's a
that.
cycle. It's a
So it's
cycle.
a complete
And it's
life
cycle.
cycle, complete
Yes,
cycle.
definitely. Hmm.
But humans, on the other hand, I would not say humans, but certain municipality complexes. So what they do is in order to bring more people or development towards a particular region, they develop a lake, so-called lake, and make a
The
walking path as I
development
said.
comes
Yeah.
before a big high-rise apartment is to come,
Ah.
right? Because he wants to
Yeah.
put
Right.
that as a lake view or something like that.
Correct.
That lake
Yeah.
is developed in a human-centric way,
Oh.
not
Yeah. Obviously.
understanding the science behind a pond or a lake or a water body.
Correct.
I-
Yes.
That itself is a subject to learn and follow. If you just create a deep water body and
Mm.
create a walk path and fencing around it where you do not allow any birds, you not allow any fish, uh, you plant all those ornamental plants and trees, they're not going to help you.
True.
It may
Correct.
look beautiful today,
Yeah.
but it is not worth it.
Absolutely.
We are
Mm.
already seeing it. Many people, I mean, there are so many big lakes that are converted into jogging parks and all that. People
Yeah.
cannot go because it stinks. There's only dirty
Correct.
water in it. There's no fresh water. The rainwater, the catchment, the ponds are created so high. Fresh water, there's no way for fresh water to get inside the lake,
Mm.
right?
Correct.
No. So we are seeing the consequence. This may be just a trailer for
Ah. Yeah.
people. We are struggling with water scarcity right now.
It's high time we realize
Yeah,
that Bangalore, the once so-called garden city, is coming out to be garbage city right now.
garbage city,
So
concrete
it
city.
is concrete city, yes. The jungle which is inside Bangalore is gone. The number of trees have gone, and only couple of parks are left out: Lal Bagh, Kaban Park, and few remaining parks,
Yeah,
which are supposed to be maintained and kept as it is. But apart from that, I do not find any other green places across Bangalore or in Bangalore.
yeah,
So so that brings to my next topic is, in order to bring this, there has to be a change in one's mentality, in the change in the way how people think about nature and the future of Bangalore. So to do that, we need to create awareness, as you mentioned, and also bring nature conservation and nature as a subject in the schools and colleges. In colleges, we have separate botany and biology classes as a syllabus, so that can be taken care. But in schools, nature is taken as a topic in just one of the lessons in science. But just one lesson, that's for the exam and test, but not towards a broader picture. So, do you have anything to say about this? How
definitely yes.
important is adding this to the syllabus in schools?
It is extremely important, and this subject is not something that you can sit in a classroom and somebody will talk and rest will listen to it. It
Yes.
has to be a practical session. Take the kids into the nature, walk them, teach them about plants, insects, trees, stuff like that. And also, there is a very wrong assumption among in general public that nature means or environment means planting trees. That is absolutely wrong. See, first thing is awareness about habitat is very, very important among people. Habitat, when I say forest is a habitat, desert is a habitat, right? They're different. Nature has decided that place to remain that way. And there are insects, there are birds, there are animals that prefer that kind of habitat. So when people, the moment you talk about environment, they only think that planting a tree is a good gesture. So planting a tree, yes, it's a definitely a good gesture, but not everywhere and anywhere. You cannot convert a desert into a forest or a forest, right?
Right.
You need
Yeah.
to have understanding about habitat first,
Mhm.
and you know, allowing more of native species trees. You
Right.
know,
Mm.
that is very, very important. So this understanding comes, or I would say this should come at the very early age.
Early age.
If we teach our kids today, yeah, not only just teaching, I mean, creating that interest among them, the curiosity among them,
Yes.
over the time, this will help us in future. Definitely.
Absolutely. Correct, Prem. Curiosity is the word.
Yeah.
Now, if you involve kids of primary school and high school about what is nature, how is it related to your life, and how can you make your environment better through nature,
Yeah.
if you bring them the practical aspect of it, you know, demonstrate on live examples of how a lake works. Take them to a lake and show that this is a lake, and lake has plants inside. There are plants which grows inside the water,
Yes.
and there are fishes who depend on these plants. There are snakes who eat these fishes, and snakes are eaten by other mammals, mongoose, etc.,
That
etc.
life cycle
Mongoose are eaten by,
has
yeah,
to
life cycle.
be, yeah,
So with that, the curiosity, the interest of children grows, and there are kids who are smart enough to educate their own parents nowadays in this generation. So
very true. Mm.
that is how the awareness should be built. I'm sure that once a person crosses 18, he feels that he has learned everything in the world, so he would not be in a state to learn anymore. But the kids below 15, I think they will have a lot of knowledge to grasp. So when you bring them the curiosity and interest, they can be a better naturalist in the future once they cross 18. So yeah, I would request through Prem that we can have some syllabus added to schools so that our children learn about nature and the habitats, and they respect nature. Now let's come back to birds. So if you if someone has to take up bird photography as a hobby or as a career in India, so what are the options you have? How should one start with?
The first thing is birding is a hobby. Uh, One should not look at as a earning source for livelihood. But there
Hmm.
are definitely opportunities. I would not deny it.
Yeah,
There are opportunities in the roles of naturalists.
correct.
You know, one can gain appropriate degrees or academic qualification to get into forest department,
Yes.
nature conservation. There are NGOs that offer job opportunities. But this is something I would say should be developed as a passion,
Okay.
not as a source of income.
Income. Okay.
Right.
Mhm. Makes sense.
That is
Yeah,
my belief.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you think as a source of income, everybody would dwell into the forest, and in the source of getting the money, they might disturb the habitat again. Yeah. So
The approach changes. No? The moment you
money is involved.
yeah,
Yeah. The
it
mindset
definitely
changes,
changes.
and then everything
But if
goes
it
for a toss.
remains as a passion,
Yeah.
you will not harm the nature or the birds or your habitat, your
Correct. Absolutely.
surroundings.
Absolutely. So we must respect nature. We must respect all the birds, mammals, animals. So in case you have any hobby or interest towards these birds or these animals, kindly respect them. And if you are coming through through a professional course such as certification from the government, or if you are coming from the National Forest organization, then we would expect you to show some courtesy and professionalism towards this nature, birds and animals, and take photographs and try to conserve them. uh, the last question I have for you is, what do you have to say in all your experience towards nature conservation, birds? What are the tips you are going to share or you have to share with uh, my audience or anybody in the world about nature, birds, and the bird conservation? How important are this?
The only one suggestion I have for our audience is that, other than your day-to-day work or office work or your regular things, which you normally do it for your family, right? develop a passion or a hobby for yourself. It's not that necessary that you do you get into birding, but there's many things. If you want to observe nature, there are many hobbies around nature. Birding is one thing. There are people who observe butterflies. There are people who observe insects. There are people who observe snakes, frogs, trees, plants, and things like that. It's a vast thing. You have a lot of options, but I suggest make it a hobby. You need to have one hobby for yourself, right? Not just, you go to work, come back home, you eat, sleep, wake up, repeat the next day. You know?
Hmm.
And reduce consumption of social media. Don't do these things for the sake of social media. Do it only if you are enjoying it, you are liking it, you are living it, right? It should not happen that I go out birding, I click a photo, I should not start calculating, oh, if I post this on social media, how many likes or followings I will get. Did you enjoy watching that moment? Definitely it's a special moment that you would have come across, observing some bird or butterfly or a insect. Did you not enjoy that moment? The first thing is to enjoy that, live that moment, right?
Yeah.
If you get an
Hmm.
opportunity, you can click a video or a photo, but never bring that thought that I will share it, I'll make a reel, I'll get more followers, I'll get
Hmm.
more likes. Don't do it for that sake. Do it as a passion, do it
Passion.
until you enjoy it. You know, that should be the main core reason for you to go into nature, explore nature, or develop something as a hobby like birding, buttering, or
Mm-hmm.
herping, things
Okay.
like that. And
Great, sir. Thank you so much.
I want to give a simple challenge to our audience. First list down number of birds or different species you may know from childhood. From
Okay.
childhood, you may have maybe there are two different types of crows. Most of them may not realize that there are two different type also. They will just call it crow. Sparrow is hard thing. Though you may know that there is a sparrow, but it is very hard to see it in and around
Yeah.
where we are
Hmm.
living. There are
Right.
other birds. See if you can recognize how many of them. And then sit for a while outside your homes, observing any tree where there may be some birds. See how many birds you see. You will definitely know if you see 10 different types of birds or not. You may not know each one of them, but you will know that, okay, that bird was different from this bird was different from other bird. Just try and spend 15-20 minutes. You will see or you realize there are so many different types of birds right in front of your house or your backyard, your surrounding. Oh. So
Right.
just try and start or listen also. Many
Ah.
people, I mean, just try and spend some time and listen. There are so many different birds calling. There are different types of calls.
Close your eyes and
Yes.
just listen.
And
Yeah.
definitely, listening to bird calls increases your
Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic, sir. So if I get an opportunity to come for a birding with you, take me please next time. Hello. I'm audible now. Hello.
tuned. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So please take me in case you're going for your next birding sessions.
Sure,
I
Ajit.
will be happy to join with you.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
try and take some photos and we'll share it with the audience
Yes.
also.
Yes, definitely,
Yes.
sir. Definitely.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Uh, Before I let you go, I would want you to share a brief introduction about yourself.
Brief introduction. Uh, my name is Prem. I live in Nandanavana layout towards the east sector. And I've been living here since October 2018. I moved here. Prior to that, I was living in Padmanabh Nagar. I'm into this passion of watching birds and nature more than a decade now. Uh, uh, Again, I have to do something for the living, so I work for HP. uh,
Great, sir.
I have a son who's in seventh standard.
Okay.
Anything you want to ask, which I may have missed?
No, no, no. You covered it all, sir. Thank you so much for making some time to my show and sharing your interest, your knowledge about nature, birds, and conservation. Have a nice day, sir. We'll keep in touch. And
Sure,
I would
it
like the audience.
was definitely a pleasure talking about the favorite subject. People, if you, any of you from the audience are interested in knowing more about birds, nature, you can always get in touch with me. I may not know everything, but I definitely know where to get answers for your questions or resources that I'm familiar with. So I will definitely try and help you.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
I'll collect your email address. I'll share that in the description. Maybe
Sure.
people can reach out to you. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Ajit.
you so much. Have a nice day, sir. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.